Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Dating Over 50. This is D Love, and I'm here with my good friend, Boss Lady, and we're going to talk about dating over 50 from a woman's point of view. So I'm going to start off the conversation by asking Boss Lady, are women over 50 really looking for committed relationships?
D Love, what I think is we're looking for something that's stable, something that's real, and something that's true, because not everybody, because we're talking about after 50. So we have some women that has been divorced and now they're independent, and they want to keep their independence. So I think it's about 50-50, but for some reason, when we say stability, when we say something consistent, men think right away we want to get married. That's not always the case after 50, because if I done struggled and got my business together and got my house on my own, I'm not sure if I'm ready to just share that right away.
Oh.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's about 50-50. Some women are ready, and some women want to stay independent, but they do want something consistent, because it's dangerous out there, if you know what I mean.
I do. So men hear, like you said, men hear that and they think we want to get married. But what we're really just saying is, no, I just want a commitment that's going to last more than 3 weeks.
Amen. Amen. And, because when we work hard to get the things that we have, and, to some, maybe it came easy. Some are jet setters. It don't come that easy to everybody. So when we get to this point in our life, sure, we want a companion. We want someone to travel with, but we also don't want somebody that's all over the place either. So, yeah, we want a commitment. We want something stable. We want something consistent. So if that's in their mind, because that can scare a man away. Consistency, they run and think, oh, she ready to get married. No, Negro, I just want a man that's probably only loving and sexing me. Okay?
You want to be the one and only, not a line of two or three of them?
I'm not trusting you. I'm not. You know what? It probably would be a different story if you can date somebody and trust that he was going to protect himself.
Right.
It'd probably be a lot more women that's willing, over 50, that's willing to whatever. Because I know sometimes I'm not really a affectionate kind of person, and I like my space. But at the same time, I still want consistency. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody that's real. I want to feel safe.
Right. And you want to be able to give yourself without worrying about who you were with last night.
Right, because I'd be like, no, I'm not indulging in that, because you ain't my man and I don't know you like that. But I really do want the companionship, and I do want to go deeper and further, but you can't trust nobody. So we believe that's the only way we can have that truth, is to be in a relationship or to go that far to be married.
Right.
I think that's the only way we feel we can get all that.
So really what you're saying is that we're not, like you said, because we've gotten to this point in our lives, we're not necessarily looking to combine things, but the only way to be safe or feel safe is to have, that's possibly why we want to have that marriage or committed relationship. Why do you think that a lot of women are also probably not then too wanting to actually live with the man, but do it because, again, that gives them some sense, quote unquote, of him being committed?
Yeah, not only we want someone to know. I think what we want is we want companion, and we want passion, and we want somebody to hug us and to cuddle up with and watch Netflix or whatever we watching. We just want to feel safe. We want to feel like a woman.
Okay. And then they could go home. Is that what you're saying?
Not really. I mean, he can stay. You can stay. But I think I think we want that person there.
Okay.
But it's not always as deep as what the guy, he's so scary. Oh, well, I'm not ready to commit. You 60 and you're not ready to commit? When you going to be ready at 80? Who going to want your wrinkled self at 80? This is like men at 50, they still playing the field.
Right.
So when somebody says that, when they start saying things like, let's go on a vacation together or get joint accounts just for our play time, like we can get the accounts together for when we go travel. We might want to travel wherever we want to travel, and we can have a little, whatever it is. They get so afraid that, oh, she trying to marry me, dog. Not really, because you know what I'm saying, you got one foot in the grave and one foot out. So to me, I think our conceptions of being in a committed relationship is different. And we scare them off every time. We can say one wrong word and they're gone.
And they're
Poof, be gone.
Exactly, with no reason.
Or they clock out mentally.
Right, exactly. Now, I'm been talking to men, and they're claiming that they are looking for committed relationships. But I think, to your point, we're seeing something totally different. So obviously, we're not seeing these men that I've been talking to previously. So, and I know a lot of men have a problem with when we talk about being independent, and I think. And you mentioned that we're independent, we have our own stuff, but that doesn't mean, and they seem to think that means that just because I have my own stuff, that means I don't need you, and I do, right? We need men,
right,
and we want them in our lives, correct?
Definitely.
And at this age, all we're saying is that we're not looking for you to take care of us.
Right, but I think the misconception what men have is that they don't know how to, first of all, if you're not intellectually connected with yourself, and if you have some unresolved issues mentally that never was resolved, they cannot intellectually separate the young ladies that they date to the grown-ass women that they date. We bunched all up in the same category as the women that I date. No. You have to separate the younger woman that I date and then the older chick that I date, or however you're going to word it. I see a difference in younger women and more mature women.
And what do you see the difference being?
The difference being that, yes, the young girl, most of the time, depending on the person, because you have two types. You got the one that she's going to put up with a whole lot. She's going to put up with a whole lot. And a lot of these young women, they got their own businesses, but they putting up a lot with these for, how they call it, clout, for who this person is. He may be popular or whatever it is that she's after,
mm-hmm.
but a lot of times it's not realism.
Okay.
When you look at how quick the relationship is over, I'm looking at these jet setters on YouTube and all this, stay together, then okay, so if y'all broke up that quick, you didn't even give the relationship a chance. The first sign of something that wasn't your normal, both of you couldn't deal with it. That's because the chemistry of the connection was never there in the first place. But you was there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't a chemistry connection, what was it? To me, it wasn't, what I'm saying, your realism is not real life.
Okay.
That's why it didn't sustain whatever bump you had in the road. You was ready to go the first time, you know what I'm saying? So then when you have these relationships and some of these women, they hanging on no matter what, those not the ones that they want. Okay, I'm willing to work at this. Okay, I'm willing to do that. But what are you willing to do?
Right.
You just, I don't want to deal with it. Okay, now I can't deal with it no more. Well, evidently you couldn't deal with it in the first place, so why was you here? So people have a false sense of, whatever their normalcy is in a relationship. But I think we have to have that conversation.
And I think that's one of my biggest things, that you would think at this age, over 50, that we would have a sense of what it is we're looking for. And if it is a committed relationship, what that really means, which is a lot of conversation, because we're two different people trying to be together. And so, like you
Right.
said, with that whole, the minute, something happens, wind blows in a different direction, you're gone. So it's like, then did you really want a committed relationship? And did you, at this age, think it was going to be easy?
That part right there. Come on now, are we working at this, or are we just doing something until it ain't fun anymore? Because it's not always going to be fun.
Exactly.
And then for me, the fun part for me is the getting to know each other, is the debates, it is the confrontations, it is the because that's how you really get to know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's the fun part, getting to know what's really going on underneath your representative that you sent to me.
That rep, I tell you.
When you put your guards down, and and then am I going to accept that person? Is that who I fell in love with? And how are you going to handle just being yourself? Because some people don't even like themselves, so that's why they have a representative. And then they want to blame the woman because they thinking that's who we think they should have been. Well, that may well be who I was attracted to, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't have been attracted to you if you just would have been yourself and been real.
Exactly.
Everybody grown, but they don't give us that chance. How many times a man will walk up and say, well, this is what's going on. I got messed up credit. I've been to the penitentiary. I'm starting all over. I just need somebody by my side. They never come with the real. They always come with the boop, 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 boop. Okay, I ain't asked you for all that. But, so we always get the representative most of the time. But
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, nowadays, the women, these younger women,
mm-hmm.
under 40, they come up with a representative.
Mm-hmm.
They off the chain with it.
That's what I was going to say.
Everybody rich, everybody cute, everybody ain't got no flaws. Don't nobody have no stress marks. Everybody, everybody perfect now.
Exactly. And we're not. And I'm okay after 50 not being that. And I guess, and I get that at 50, I'm not asking you to buy me a purse. I'm not going to put up with all your stuff so that I can get some shoes. So I think that's part of the difference, like you said, meaning that they think that we're that group of women when it's like, no, we're not going to do that. We want to demand a little bit more respect and all of that. And I think what's happening is because women are so quick to have relationships for the things they can get, it's making it hard for the women who are not going to put up with that.
Right. And this what a brother told me one time. He said that it's so easy for the men nowadays. They don't have to go out and date nobody. All they can do is go on social media and go on somebody's DM. Boom, she right there. They already know what everything looks like because she done showed everything. A guy told me that it's so easy on, I don't want to say picking up a woman, but that's exactly what you're doing if you're going on the internet. But I guess, for men, but I'm going to say 70% of the men, they good with that because they just scroll through and pick one. But then you have those intellectual men that are deeper, that are, they are hopeless romantic at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to date and they want to do, you know what I'm saying? They want all that. And what I have been finding, let's say 50% of the men, which is not a big percentage, but some of these guys are starting to be celibate because they feel like celibacy is the only real. Because I have 5 brothers and they're like, some of these women, for the most part, they all look alike. Big booties, big breasts, tight, straight dress, and long, straight weave or wig. They all look alike. So you do have a small percentage of men that do want their realism. But, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. And with that, I'm going to thank Boss Lady for her time today, and we're going to continue this conversation. So, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification button so you can hear my next conversation with Boss Lady. So thanks, Boss. We'll talk later.